try this again. I rebooted the computer. You should be able to hear me okay. It's Tuesday, July 12th, 2022. And I'm Michael Imhotep, founder of the African History Network, host of the African History Network show. And I'm doing a preview of a 10-week online class that I teach normally on Saturdays, but we're going to do a special session today as soon as I finish this broadcast. Ancient Kemet, the Moors, and the Ma'afa, understanding the transatlantic slave trade, what they didn't teach you in school. Okay, so testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3. You should be able to hear me. Let me know if you can hear me okay. All right, so I rebooted the computer. I have the air conditioning on here in the office also, so just bear with me. But you should be able to hear me. So we were talking about Hannibal Barca, and we were talking about the Punic Wars and the Carthaginians, and we were talking about the fact that Africa is not named after a Roman general. Africa is not named after a Roman general, Publius Cornelius Scipio Africanus, as you'll often hear on different radio shows. You may even see it in some documentaries, things like that. Okay, that's false. And we were dealing with language. Okay, and when we go look at, let me bring up the PowerPoint presentation again here. When we look at the Latin language, and I was referencing Cassell's Latin to English Dictionary, 2002 edition, page 11 in the entry for a fear. Okay, so we're talking about Publius Cornelius Scipio Africanus. And, okay, let me know if y'all can hear me okay. So when we reference language, Africanus means belonging to Africa. Africanus means belonging to Africa. And you have to, what you belong to has to exist before you could belong to it. All right. So we were also looking at page 14 and 15 of African People in World History by Dr. John Henrik Clarke. African People in World History by Dr. John Henrik Clarke. Okay. And we were looking at pages 14 and 15. Okay, so let me know how the audio sounds. It should be coming through okay. I had to reboot the computer, and for some reason it was having problems on Facebook and YouTube. The online class, I don't teach on Facebook and YouTube. We do that in Crowdcast. So it's a different technology, because these problems with the audio doesn't happen in Crowdcast. But if we look here at the last paragraph, this is page 14 of African People in World History by Dr. John Henrik Clarke. If we look at the last paragraph, after the rise and decline of Greek civilization and the Roman destruction of the city of Carthage, the Romans organized the conquered territories. The Romans organized the conquered territories into a province they called Africa. A word derived from the word Afri, A-F-R-I. A word derived from the word Afri, A-F-R-I. Okay, now the Afri, the name Afri was a name of a group of people about whom little is known. This was a very new name because previously all dark-skinned people were called Ethiopians. Since the Greeks referred to Africa as Ethiopia, the land of the bird-faced people. And when you study Greek mythology, and I took a Greek mythology class in high school, in 11th grade. When you study Greek mythology, they tell you that Zeus, who's the king of the gods in amongst the Greeks, they tell you Zeus originally came from Ethiopia. Originally, Zeus was depicted as an Ethiopian. He was depicted as an African, but then he gets changed as you come out of the Dark Ages, and Europeans are reinterpreting these various images. He gets reinterpreted as a European, just like Hercules got reinterpreted as a European. Okay, I'm going to post the information here. You can register for this 10-week online class that I teach, and we're going to have more than 10 sessions this time around. We'll have 12 because as soon as I finish this broadcast, we're going to teach. I'm going to teach another section of this class at our online school, so you can join us tonight for this class. Okay, let's go back to the PowerPoint presentation. To the slide here. After 300 AD, new states, and eventually empires began to appear in inner West Africa, which the Arabs later called the Western Sudan. The best known of these states were Ghana, Mali, and Songhai. Their collective lifespan was more than 1,000 years, but these West African empires were in decline on the eve of the transatlantic slave trade. Okay, so this is just a brief overview of some of the things that we deal with in the class, but we're going to talk about Hannibal Barca in today's class. We're going to talk about the Punic Wars, the Carthaginians, things like this. Okay, we deal with all this in the class, and I talked about Carthage. We'll deal with Carthage, things like this. So we go through and look at history chronologically, and we deal with thousands of years of history and what leads up to the transatlantic slave trade taking place. Okay, we also look at things like, why is Christmas celebrated on December 25th when nowhere in the biblical text does it state that Jesus the Christ, or Yeshua, because the letter J wasn't created till 1630 AD. Yeshua, nowhere in the biblical text does it state that Jesus the Christ, or Yeshua, was born on December 25th. Okay, so we've gone through and looked at some of the things that we deal with in the class, and we'll talk about Hannibal Barca. We'll talk about the Moors. Kemet is one of the original names for Egypt. Okay, Kemet is one of the original names for Egypt. Normally, I teach this class on Saturdays, 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We have the information at our new website, theafricanhistorynetwork.com, theafricanhistorynetwork.com. We're going to do a special session today. Now, some of the things we do within the class, first of all, we can't start studying our history in slavery even when we study the transatlantic slave trade, which is important to study. We can't start in 1619 or in the 1440s with the Portuguese, when the Portuguese get involved in 1441, when Anton Gonçalves goes into the territory that's present day Mauritania, okay, and picks up about 12 Africans and takes them back to Portugal. Okay, we have to deal with hundreds of years of history that leads up to the transatlantic slave trade taking place. Okay, we have to deal with hundreds of years of history that leads up to the transatlantic slave trade taking place, and we have to deal with this history chronologically. Okay, so this is what we deal with in the class, and we do the sessions live. All the sessions are archived and recorded, so you can go back and watch them anytime. So as soon as you register, you can go and watch the previous classes. You can join us in today's class. Now, we have to understand the history chronologically and deal with the 800-year occupation of Europe by the Africans known as the Moors, who enter into the Iberian Peninsula, today known as Spain and Portugal, from North Africa in 711 AD. Okay, and they're led by Tariq ibn Ziyad. Okay, the African general, and they're going to take the teachings from the Nile Valley region of Africa into Europe, and it's going to be these teachings that will bring Europe out of the Dark Ages. And Europe is cast into the Dark Ages when the western portion of the Roman Empire is crushed by the Vandals and the Visigoths in 476 AD. 476 AD. Okay. All right. And let me post this information here. Okay, so give us a thumbs up, give us a like, give us a heart on this broadcast. And you're going to learn a lot in this class. I do a PowerPoint presentation. We have book references, articles, video clips, a ton of information in the class. You can also use this information with your children. I would say the content is PG-13. Okay. And we have a bunch. So it's not, I don't do a lot of cursing, things like that, overly vulgar or overly graphic, etc. And we also have a bundle pack where you can register for both classes that I teach for $100. It's a $260 value that's discounted to $100 right now. And there's some extra lectures you're going to get from me included as well. All right. Yeah, this is an online school because this is a preview of an online course that I teach at our online school, the African History Network School. Okay, so this course not only deals with the transatlantic slave trade, but thousands of years of history that leads up to the transatlantic slave trade of African people taking place. We hear a lot about 1619, and we know that August 20th, 1619 marked the 400th year anniversary of those 20-odd Africans coming into Point Comfort in Virginia, the colony of Virginia. But African people were here in this land that we call the United States of America thousands of years before that. And we know Native Americans called this land Turtle Island, as Dr. David Imhotep deals with in his book, The First Americans Were Africans, Documented Evidence. This book right here that we reference in the class also. The First Americans Were Africans, Documented Evidence by Dr. David Imhotep. All right, now, the year 2019 was known as the year of return, as many African Americans were reconnecting to Africa and continue to do this and travel to Ghana and other West African countries. When we discuss the transatlantic slave trade, we have to first understand that African people are the original people of North, Central, and South America and have been in the land we call the U.S. at least 51,700 years ago. These were the Khoisan, as we previously talked about, who come from Southern Africa and have the oldest DNA on the planet. So some of the things we deal with in the class, the 800-year occupation of Europe by the Africans known as the Moors, shocking archaeological discoveries that are causing experts to rethink everything. And we deal with a number of different archaeological discoveries that cause people to push the timelines back, shocking archaeological discoveries that are causing experts to rethink everything, insurance companies that took out insurance policies on slave ships and enslaved Africans on plantations, Freemasonry, America and the Founding Fathers, the origins of the terms America, Africa, and more. Okay, so this is just a few of the things that we deal with in the class. We go through and look at this history in different periods of time, chronologically as much as possible. Of course, you deal with Christopher Columbus and the role Columbus plays in the spreading of the transatlantic slave trade. He helped lay the foundation for slavery, racism, capitalism, and the exploitation of indigenous people. And we look at what were some of the events that lead up to the transatlantic slave trade taking place also. We deal with Asar, Auset, and Heru and the origins of the Immaculate Conception story, links to ancient Kemet, Egypt, and early Christianity, Freemasonry in America, and the fake Willie Lynch letter of 1712. These are just a few of the things that we deal with in this 10-week online class that I teach. Ancient Kemet, the Moors, and the Ma'afa, understanding the transatlantic slave trade, what they didn't teach you in school. So we have the information at our new website, theafricanhistorynetwork.com. How you all like this type of information also? Let me know. Give us a thumbs up, give us a heart, give us a like. Post here on the thread of broadcast how you like this type of information. We have a bundle pack because normally I teach this class on Saturdays, but I was tied up Saturday, so we're teaching it today when I finish this broadcast. On Sundays, the second class that I teach is From the Civil War to the Civil Rights Movement and Black Power, 1865 to 1968. This second class picks up where the first one leaves off. The second class, will do a special session of this on Wednesday, July 13th, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And the second class, we pick up in 1803 with the Louisiana Purchase and the Haitian Revolution. The Louisiana Purchase and the Haitian Revolution, okay? Because those two incidences are related. And then we go throughout history and we look at what leads to the Civil War taking place. We look at the Civil War, Reconstruction, Jim Crow era, World War I, World War II, Great Migration, 1915, 1970, 6 million African Americans migrating from the South up north and out west. We look at World War I, World War II, Civil Rights Movement, Black Power Movement, to understand how we got to where we are today and understand what needs to take place to, and for us to understand where we need to go from here. You have to understand the history and the laws and policies that put us in the predicament we're in today, so we understand where we need to go from here. So that's what we look at in that second class, okay? And I'll post a link here for the 2-course bundle pack. As soon as you register, you can watch. You can start watching the content. We have bonus content. You can watch the previous classes, and you can join us in class live. So we do the sessions live. All the sessions are archived and recorded. You can go back and watch the classes anytime. So a year from now, 2 years from now, you can go back and watch the entire class. And you can also support the African History Network, $, the AHN Show through Cash App, $, the AHN Show through Cash App, also through PayPal, paypal.me / the AHN Show, paypal.me / the AHN Show. Okay. And we have that information on the homepage of our website also. So there's some fake African History Network Cash App accounts out there that have been stealing money from us. This is our only Cash App account, $, the AHN Show, SHOW, $, the AHN Show, SHOW. When you go to it, it says Michael and shows my picture there. These other ones here, and there are a few more that I have identified. These other ones are fake African History Network Cash App accounts. Their tag is a variation of ours, but these are fake. This is our only Cash App account. Like I said, when you go to it, it says Michael. It shows my picture there. Okay. I've opened up a investigation with Cash App. They're slower than Heinz ketchup. I've opened up an investigation with Cash App and let them know there's fake accounts out there. So they're investigating this. All right. Okay. So you can register for the class. I've got to get out of here. I'm about to teach this class. You can join us in the class live once you register. If you missed the live class, once we do it as archive, you can go back and watch it anytime. Okay. So hopefully you learned a lot here. Also, we have a special promotion going on at our website, theafricanhistorynetwork.com. Get 30% off on orders of $100 or more, DVD lectures and digital downloads, and my lectures and some others. Is for a very limited time only. Use coupon code AHN30 off July, AHN30 off July. We have the information at our website, theafricanhistorynetwork.com. All right, we have to get out of here. Remember, at the African History Network, we focus on educating, empowering, and inspiring people of African descent throughout the diaspora and around the world. Because right now, it's correct wrong behavior. It's not over till we win. Wakanda forever. And we'll see you in class. Peace. Hotep, thanks for tuning in. All right, we got the link here, and we posted just the link itself also. And it's in the thread of this broadcast as well.